Alright. I'm live. Let's get this background music in check. It's a little loud. How's this look? Alright, looking good. Got my co-host right here. Clean out his eye boogies. He's been napping. Specifically so he had the energy to annoy me right now. Get this notification up. Discord. Ugh. Chat going. Probably should have scheduled this. Yeah. Instead of just randomly going live, but you know, it is what it is. How's it going, everyone? What's up? Maybe I should have forgot. I always have the camera over here. Probably be over here, so I'm gonna be looking at chat. How's it going, Logan, Green Butterfish, Zach, Defuse? How's it going, everyone? This week, this is back-to-back really good weeks for comics. Because, like, 3 weeks ago was terrible. There were, like, 2 good comics. And then last week was a really strong week. And this week was a really strong week. And I'll show you guys what I got this week. And there's 2 comics I didn't read yet that I want to, though, which is Deadpool and Wolverine #3, because that's been fun so far. First 2 issues were fun. And then, was it Last Days of Lex Luthor, which issue 2 just came out 2 years after the first issue. So I missed that one because I forgot all about it. I was like, oh yeah, that's the second issue came out. That's the Mark Waid book. We can talk about the Daredevil Born Again new episode, but first we're going to talk about some comics. Because like I said, this was a really good week. Out of what I picked up, the only thing I didn't like was Nightwing. Which if you've seen my Nightwing video, you know why I didn't like Nightwing. So yeah, let's talk about. So here's what I picked up. I got Absolute Batman #6, Absolute Flash #1, which was what I was most excited about when all the Absolute stuff was first announced because it's Jeff Lemire writing Wally West, and I love Jeff Lemire, and so I was super excited about that. G.I.Joe #5, Nightwing. Dexter Soy is great, but Dan Waters not so good on Nightwing. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, which this is a fill-in artist. He is pretty good, but the main artist I met at Emerald City Comic Con, so that was cool meeting him. Josh Reynolds, I believe his name. I know his last name is Reynolds. I can't remember because the only book I've ever got of his is Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. But this is Jimmy Palmiotti's Western book, and I'm really enjoying it. And then Rockefellers, which is good, but I feel like the weakest of the Ghost Machine books that I'm reading. Anyways, I guess we'll start off with the big one, which is Absolute Batman. Yeah, the covers are pretty cool. That's the big one. That's what everyone's reading. That's what's getting hype. That's what's getting orders. And Absolute Batman #6 might be my favorite issue of Absolute Batman. It's really good. It's balls to the wall. It's great. Most of these issues are balls to the wall. There's only really been one issue of this that was kind of not that good, but still there hasn't been a single issue that I've disliked. And the one issue that I didn't really care for was the one with the fill-in artist, because the fill-in artist was so jarring. The fill-in artist was so different than Nick Tragotta and didn't really fit the vibe of Absolute Batman, at least in my opinion. And that was the only issue I didn't care for. But issue #6 is amazing. This is where this is the conclusion to the first arc. We see him take out Black Mask, and it's sick the way he does it. Black Mask seems nearly invincible because Absolute Batman just beats the absolute tar out of him. Hits him with some bowling balls. Freaking stabs him with his ears. Because, as they said when it was first announced, Scott Snyder talked about how with this comic, he's like, Batman's an engineer in this, so every single part of the Batsuit is going to be functional. Every single part is functional. There's a use for everything. And so we see when he's on top, he's ground and pounding. He's in full mount. He's ground and pounding Black Mask. And then Black Mask wraps like a wire around him like he's going to Hitman style. Like he's going to like slice up his neck, cut an artery or something. And then Batman just like activates something with his ear and goes, and then it faces down and he just stabs Black Mask. It's like, oh, damn. But yeah, it's pretty sick. He punts some Twi'lek child. That was cool. That's been making the rounds on Twitter because it was hilarious the way he just picks up this child and punts him. I love it. Especially because Something that I really like about Absolute Batman is the bad guys are bad. This is a big complaint that I have with a lot of comics, but especially Nightwing that I talked about in my video talking about Nightwing. The bad guys aren't bad in Nightwing, and it annoys the crap out of me. Just, oh, all these gangs, every single gang is just misunderstood and actually like taken advantage of and blah, 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 blah. All this crap. But in Absolute Batman, no, like Black Mask and his animal people, they're all bad. Like, they are bad people. And Batman treats them like bad people. And speaking of, in the latest Daredevil episode, where there's a guy that has a giant rap sheet that has committed so many crimes, but then he steals some food, so it's okay. So then stealing's fine, and the system is just holding him down. And it's like, gosh dang, dude, I like when bad people are bad. That's what I like. I like when and in Absolute Batman, it's like, these people are bad, and Batman is treating them like they're bad, and I love it. I love that. Need more of that in comics. I'm sick of all these, it used to be sort of nuanced, when it was like, oh man, we have a criminal that's misunderstood and actually isn't that bad and put into a bad situation where they have to commit crimes in order to survive. Now it's like 1 in every 3 villains is like that. And it's like, my God, why is every bad guy not actually bad? It's annoying. But yeah, it's sick. Nick Dragotta is so good at drawing just a gigantic Batman just beating the tar out of. I don't know how Black Mask survives this. Yeah, Daredevil shouldn't have agreed with that guy. I was digging all of that. That was my favorite part of the episode, was that whole part. We'll get into Daredevil later. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But we'll get into that later, because right now we're talking about comics. But yeah, Absolute Batman number 6 was really good. We got some good stuff with his mom. It's okay to have unsympathetic villains. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the giant monster truck. And then at the end, after he takes out Black Mask, finally, we have the setup for the next arc, which Bane's going to be coming in. We also get some just Absolute Joker looks really weird, like a freak. He's got like baby heads attached to him or something. And he's the one pulling the strings on all this. And he says, get Bane. But also the next issue is supposed to be about Mr. Freeze. I don't know when Bane's showing up. I haven't really looked at solicitations for the future of Absolute Batman, so I don't know. I'm sure they're out there. What's up, Batman? Pull off the Iridillion villain. I know nothing about My Hero Academia, but yeah, there's way too much of just these villains aren't actually that bad, and like actually they're just poor people and they're in bad situations. It's like, okay, sure, every single villain is like that. That's definitely interesting. But anyways, Absolute Batman number 6 gets thumbs up from me. My favorite issue so far. It's really good. I'm really enjoying Absolute Batman. Come here. And yeah, it's great. I mean, Joker's going to be the guy in the background for a bit until who knows when it's actually introduced. But yeah, Joker's just going to be in the background, it seems. It seems he's going to be like kind of like Spectacular Spider-Man, when like you had Norman in the background and Tombstone, and you just had all these villains of the week all the time. That's what it seems like it's going to be. It's like you'll have a different villain for each arc, and you're going to have Joker in the background until Joker finally is like, time to get my hands dirty. And so, yeah. But then we got Absolute Flash, which again was the book I was the most hyped for as far as the Absolute books go. And it was pretty good. It didn't blow my socks off. It wasn't amazing, but I did like it. I'm a big Jeff Lemire fan. Nick Robles is pretty good, but I also feel like there's a bit of inconsistency in the art. It feels like it's really good, like some pages and other pages, it feels like the quality is not quite as good. I don't know. But he does pretty good for the most part. Clayface must be Bloodborne level support. We'll see. But this is all just like the very beginning origins of Wally West. He's not Flash yet. We're seeing how he got his powers and what's going on. Just to follow the Jeff Lemire. You should definitely read the Absolute Flash. First issue is good. It's worth picking up. But we see that, and Wally is an army brat. And he's kind of like, you can see from his appearance, because that was the one thing when they first started revealing stuff about this book that I didn't care for, is Wally looking like a lesbian. I didn't care for that design, but in this you can kind of see why, because he's very much rebelling against his dad, because he's an army brat, and his dad's very much do everything by the book, and that's why Wally looks like a dumbass. He's got like the stupidest haircut of all time, and these really dumb looking earrings, and like he dresses like an idiot. It's like, oh yeah, he's just rebelling against his dad. That's why. That's why he's like very like punk the way he dresses. That's why he looks like a lesbian. So it's like, at least it makes sense for the character. I still think it's a dumb look, but in this whole issue, Wally's just lost. He's been moving around from place to place because he's an army brat, and his dad constantly has to go. His dad's very important, and he doesn't have any friends, and he doesn't have much to do, and so he just sneaks out at night and kind of just roams around until in this issue. By the way, again, spoilers for all these issues. By the way, if I start talking about an issue, there's going to be spoilers for it because I can't really talk about these issues without spoilers. So there's your warning. Absolute Flash is probably DC Ultimate Spider-Man. Not really. Anyways, I was just catching up on chat. Yeah, so he comes back one night from being too late, and he's gonna get punished for it. And, like, they're gonna tell his dad, and then Barry's like, "Don't worry, it's all right." And Barry decides to walk around. Barry shows him something top secret, some of the stuff they're working on, because his dad is very secretive and doesn't tell him anything. Doesn't tell Wally nothing about why they're there or what they're doing. Just that Dad's got an important job, and that's it. And so Barry seems to be the only, like, sort of friend that Wally has, sort of like, Uncle Barry. Do they mention Barry in Absolute Flash? Yes, they do. And I guess I won't spoil the very ending of this book. So that way, because there's a big reveal at the end that I won't spoil. Because it seems like a lot of people haven't read Absolute Flash. So if you're planning on reading it, I don't want to spoil the very end. So I won't spoil the very end of it. But anyways, Barry is the only one that helps him. And we see that this book also jumps around time. Like, it takes place in modern, like, not modern, but like in the present day. And then it'll go back a week. And then present day, and then it'll go back 2 days. And so, like, the book opens and Wally has his powers, but he's, like, just got his powers and he doesn't really know what's going on. He's kind of, like, jumping around his mind to these different points in time. We see the new rogues. They're kind of just working for the military, and they're sent to hunt down Wally because a big explosion happens, and that's how Wally gets his powers, because of the lab that's going on. He gets into the lab that Barry was working on and his dad is working on, and there's a thunderstorm. Like, the whole place, like, explodes, and Wally gets powers, and then he's hunted by the rogues, and it's pretty interesting. Again, we're just in the very beginnings of it. It's very much the origin. I won't spoil the ending because it's a big reveal, but yeah, it looks interesting. We'll see where it goes. We got Mirror Master at the end also. That's not the big spoiler. Again, I won't spoil the big part of it, but Mirror Master's reveal at the end to seems like he's going to be the villain of this first arc, because he's looking all around. He sees different points in time from Wally also, like when he's looking. So it looks interesting. I enjoyed the first issue. We'll see where it goes from here, but we didn't get much in this first issue. Isn't this more like Absolute Kid Flash? Kind of, because I think they said he's 15 in this. I can't remember. I believe they said his age. I think he's like 15. Do you think James Gunn's Superman is going to be good? I hope so. I have no idea. I hear so many rumors about things, but we'll see. I think it could be. Thanks, D-Claw. They're going to handle the Speed Force in this universe. Yeah, we'll see how they handle all that, because, it's going to be different. But I liked it. I think it's pretty good. Something I will say, I don't know, oh, he's 17. Okay. I thought they said he was younger than that, but I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, Absolute Flash is good. So I'd recommend Absolute Flash. I'd say it's worth picking up if you're interested in it. Read it. And yeah, I like the Absolute Flash. Again, really good week for comics. Thoughts on Absolute Superman? I read the first 2 issues, and I barely got to issue 2 because issue 1 wasn't very good. I'll probably read the whole first arc and do a video on it, but I did not like it. Art is great. Rafa Sandoval is really good, but Jason Aaron's Absolute Superman is just not interesting. I don't care at all what's going on there. No, he's 15. Okay, so I was right. We've got conflicting reports right now. Do you think this book is better than Absolute Superman? Yes, most comics are, I would say. It saddens me that the main Superman title is actually pretty good right now, but the best-selling Superman book in ages is Absolute Superman. How do you think they handle Gorilla God? I have no idea. Have you backed Neil before Doomface? No, I have not. I haven't backed the last. I don't really do a whole lot. I hope that sells really well for Aaron. But I don't really do too many crowdfunding comics. The last one I did was Jimmy Palmiotti's Western, which came out like a year or 2 ago. That was the last one. I don't really do a whole lot of crowdfunded books because they tend to be expensive and take a while to come out. But yeah, I hope Kneel Before Doomsday sells well. Any opinion on Absolute Batman First Arc? Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. I just talked about it at the beginning of the stream. Issue 6 is my favorite. You have any hopes about what an Absolute Deathstroke could be like? I hope they don't do anything with Deathstroke. Leave Deathstroke alone at this point. Don't do anything, please. I don't want Deathstroke. Honestly, I don't want Deathstroke to. I'd be fine with Deathstroke never being touched again by DC Comics, because man, it's hard to think of another character that's been that mishandled for so long. Have you seen Mickey 17? Yeah, I did. It was ass. The first, like, it was okay at first, and then it kind of just unraveled and introduced too many things and just became like, what are we even doing here? This is stupid. But the first act was good. It looked good, and Robert Pattinson was good. But yeah, that movie was not very good. Anyways, next up, G.I. Joe number 5. G.I. Joe has been great. If you're not reading G.I. Joe, you're making a mistake. Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley. Tom Riley has done every single issue. We're 5 issues in. We haven't had a fill-in artist. That's really cool. He is amazing. And Joshua Williamson, it seems, was made, like, he was born to write Duke. He is so good at writing Duke. Like, this is the character for Joshua Williamson. Like, Joshua Williamson has, like, DC kind of made him the guy, and it turns out he's not the guy, but he can write some damn good comics. It's just, he can't be your architect, and he can't be your guy that writes 800 comics. You need to focus him a bit more. But because right now he's doing good on Superman, and he's doing great on G.I. Joe. He's done good books in the back, like in the past, like on Flash. But when they tried to have him do event books and like be the architect of the DC universe and write a bunch of comics, didn't really work out. But when he's a bit more dialed back, he can do really good. G.I. Joe is great, and again, his characterization of Duke, I love the way he writes Duke. The way he writes Duke is perfect. He really gets the character. And again, 5 issues in, it's been great. We also got, it looks like they might be doing the whole Baroness mind control thing, because we have that introduced in this. We have we have it explained how that could go down. So it's like, also I love the way he writes Cobra Commander as well. Is Williamson's Superman good after House of Brainiac? I haven't caught up. When Dan Mora gets on, that read from there on. This is the best stuff he's been doing since Dan Mora came on. He's amped it up. Obviously, the art helps, but his writing has gotten better. Like, I like it. I enjoyed it a lot more, because I thought House of Brainiac was disappointing. I thought a lot of his other stuff was like up and down for Superman. But then once Dan Mora came on, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. The colors could be better in G.I. Joe. I think the colors look pretty good. I like the colors. You know who had great colors was this issue of Tales of the Gunslinger, which, let me see who the colorist was on this, because the colors on this were really nice. I like this a lot. Let's see. Colors, Luis NCT and Juan Alvarez did the colors on this. Chad Harden was the fill-in artist for this, because the Josh Reynolds, the main artist, did a Batman Brave and the Bold, like a couple issues of that, so he took time off. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. But its colors in this are really good. I'll bring up some pages of this in a little bit to show you guys that. But yeah, G.I. Joe number 5. It's great. I love what's been going on. I'm so interested. Like, there's just 2 flat pages on here. So the Joes have been captured, and then they end up getting out of their situation, and they have to fight without weapons. And it's really cool because it's just 2 pages of like 18 panels of just hand-to-hand the Joes getting shot up while fighting Cobra Soldier. It's sick. It is awesome. It's just beautiful Tom Riley art. It's like, now this is how you do some sort of like 9-panel grids, you know? Not just like static someone talking and that's it. We got just like 18 panels of Joes kicking ass. It was sick. G.I. Joe number 5 is amazing. There's specifically a part here. I'll bring it up. Let me find the page where Stalker like kicks a guy and freaking, oh my goodness, it's so sick. Let me bring it up. I got the page right here. Yeah, freaking Stalker kicks this dude's helmet off, takes his shotgun, and then blasts a guy. It's so sick. Like this, oh my god. Read G.I. Joe. Read G.I. Joe if you're not. Stalker's so cool. Anyways, G.I.Joe number 5 is amazing. And I love Cobra Commander in this. Like, just... Oh, the Joshua Williamson really gets Duke and Cobra. And the ending, where we see that everyone else escapes because, again, they were captured by Cobra. They were in Cobra territory. And it's like, oh, this ain't looking good. And they get out by the skin of their teeth. And then when they get out, they're like, where's Duke? Duke had snuck back in to freaking go get Cobra Commander. So at the end of the issue, he's got his pistol at Cobra Commander's head. And he says, who the hell are you? And that's how the issue ends. It's like, oh, I can't wait for issue 6. Have you ever tried Marvel Rivals? If so, what are your thoughts? No, I haven't, because I don't like I don't like Overwatch, so I don't care about Marvel Rivals at all. I wish it was a game I liked, because it seems right up my alley, because I like games, I like comic books, and they meld the two, and it's in the mainstream, and it'd probably be really good for me if I was into it, but I'm not, and I can't force myself to be into it, because I hate Overwatch. I hate that style of game. I don't like it. It's not fun to me. So, yeah. That's why I don't play Marvel Rivals. It's unfortunate. Also, screw that game for replacing Danny Rand, dude. What are we doing? We've got Swordmaster Iron Fist in this game. Okay. Yeah. Boycott from me. They'll fail now. Take notes, Tom King. Yeah, if only. What's up, Danny? Titans had Deathstroke in the background so far, and they haven't addressed how he's back after Dark Crisis. Shouldn't have the serum in the body anymore. I hope they explain it. I haven't been reading Titans because I know Tom Taylor left, which is good, but also the new writer didn't really excite me, so I didn't check it out. Let's talk about Nightwing. Nightwing continues to not be good. Again, I'm going to give it after this arc. I will give it one more arc to see if it's good because I desperately want it to be good because Dan Watters has written other things that I've liked, and Dexter Soy is amazing, but this is bad. Also, it's freaking $5. That's insane. I just looked at this. I thought this was a $4 book. It's $5. Gosh dang. Comics are so expensive. Gosh dang. Yeah, compared to G.I.Joe number 5, which is better in every single way, and it's $4. $5 for this. What the heck? What are we doing? Oh. Yeah, so Nightwing, I have no idea what the general consensus on the current Nightwing book is. Like, I don't, because generally speaking, my opinion doesn't always line up with what like the general comic reading audience is. Like, a lot of people loved Tom Taylor's Nightwing, and I thought it was terrible. But this one I don't really see anyone talking about, so I have no idea. Yeah, $4.99 for 23 pages. It's wild. It's crazy, especially when you have Tales of the Gunslinger Spawn, $3. $3. That's crazy. Also, G.I. Joe, like you were saying in the Discord, Danny, like, this was the first book I read when I picked up my comics. I was like, oh man, it feels really good. And then I switched to one of the DC books. I was like, ooh, $1 more, and the paper quality's so much worse. Crazy. Anyways, this book opens up with Nightwing giving a blood transfusion to some gang members. So that's how Nightwing's going. And then we get a really stupid page with the Zanny. The Zanny is the overarching villain of this arc. Jimmy, stop it. Jimmy, come here. Stop being an asshole. Chill. Just chill. If I let him out, he's going to claw to get straight back in. It's just this endless carousel. If anyone has a cat, they know how it is. Anyways, let me show you this page of the Zanny real quick, because it is so stupid. So the Zanny is this overarching villain. He leads Cirque du Sin, and he's been manipulating Nightwing and behind the scenes pulling the strings, and he's like not a normal like street level villain. He's got some type of weird powers. We don't really know how, because the one time Nightwing saw him was when he was Robin a long time ago, and now when he's near death from giving blood, doing a blood transfusion to gang members, he sees him again, and the Zanny then like talks to the viewer, or not the viewer, the reader, and it's really weird. So wait, what did I say? What did I say that sounded like a slur? Oh no. Anyways, I don't know what I said. Whoops, I pulled up the wrong page. Zanny, here it is. Here it is. So here's the page. I'll read it. Hello, it's me, the Zanny. Have you missed me? I've missed you. Did you think me, another villain for Nightwing to battle and defeat, to be overcome by heroics, backflips, and grit on the skin of his teeth? How sweet. But that is not what the Cirque du Sin is. That is not our function. We are the children of Wertham. or Wortham. We are the corruption that is manifest in all performance. We are the violence in the video game, the backmasked lyric in the popular song. We are everything that draws you to art, to the words on a page, the thrill of the taint. The taint? The thrill of the taint of death that is the joy of the circus. Right now. Yeah, so this is how Nightwing's going. This is, bruh, this is what we're getting. This is the main villain of the Nightwing book right now. Yeah. So it's really bad, sadly. I was like lured in by the Dexter Soy art for the first couple issues. Like, man, Nightwing's pretty good. And then like the more I read, I was like, actually, this is really bad. It's really bad. I did like the ending of this. I will say the ending of this issue was good because Nightwing has been taking in all these gang members and being a big mama bear to them, being like, it's okay, I'll protect you from the corrupt police and I'll help save you because you guys are actually not all that bad at all. I'll talk about Time Trapper Doomsday in a minute. But anyways, there's this like Nightwing has two gangs under his roof and the two gangs hate each other and he's trying to like get them to be peaceful, and this one little kid that he has watching a rabbit that he saved earlier is like the only one that's actually listening to Nightwing, be like, yeah guys, as Mr. Nightwing said, we should not be fighting. And so it's like, oh, this one kid's listening to Nightwing and the only one, blah blah. Then at the end of the issue, when Nightwing's in trouble, when this robot's about to kill him, the kid pulls out a pistol and shoots it. And he goes, we got him, didn't we, boss? And we see on his gang patch that he has for the Teddy gang that he's in, he's painted the Nightwing logo over it. And Nightwing's like, boss? And it's like, oh, that's actually interesting. This kid who's only ever known gangs his whole life, who's grown up in violence, just sees Nightwing as another gang leader that's taken him in. So that part I actually liked and thought, oh, that's interesting. The rest of the issue is dog shit. There's a part where Nightwing is in front of a robot that's about to shoot him with lasers, and he just goes, duh, and then puts his hands up and is prepared to die. So Nightwing's just kind of an incompetent dumbass in this, and I really don't like it. Nightwing's been really bad. This was the only bad comic I read this week. The rest were really good. Daily Tales of the Gunslinger, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I don't think anyone's reading it, so it's kind of like me talking to no one. But it's good. I want to bring up some pages because I love the colors in this issue. Like I was talking about earlier. Let's see, Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. Let me pull up some pages. But it's Jimmy Palmiotti writing more westerns, and I loved his Jonah Hex. I loved his creator-owned westerns that he does. So it's pretty cool seeing him do more westerns. And it's $2.99. It's $3 for this. It's a full-size comic. It's got good art. It's fun to look at. It's fun to read. It's violent. It's cool. He's got. I love the way Jimmy Palmiotti writes dialogue. The way he writes these characters. There's some just great moments in here where it's like, ooh, classic. It's so cool. But hold on, I'm getting some pages to show you guys. Let me just grab some real quick because I love the colors in this, and the way it ends is pretty cool. I love the way this looks. The art isn't my favorite. I like it. I think it's good, but I think the colors are really cool. The colors really pop in this. All right, I got a page. We'll do this page. Every time I hit the button. All right, here we go. So as you can see, like, I like the colors. I like the way it looks. I think everything pops real well. This is a really freaking shoots this guy's arms off and his head off. It's very, like, cartoonish. This is a fill-in artist. The main artist is does a bit more of a realistic style. This fill-in is more cartoonish. But I liked it. I thought it looked good. It looks pretty cool. Freaking Gunslinger Spawn just going ham on these carnies. Helping out the gang somewhat make him corrupt too when you think about it a little bit. Oh yeah, definitely it makes him corrupt. 100%. It doesn't make any sense. The way Nightwing's written in this run is really stupid. Apparently Nightwing is 5'10" instead of 6 foot now. I feel like a lot of characters' height is kind of fluid when it comes to comics. When are you gonna review Snow White? Never. Celestial Hex in like 2014, right? Yeah, we had that, and then we had the Looney Tunes Jonah Hex one shot, which was really good, which was written by Jimmy Palmiotti, and that's basically it. We had like a robot Jonah Hex show up in Super Sons, and we had Jenny Hex, which was a creation from Bendis. Yeah, Brubaker did that one sort of little western, and that was it. So it'd be cool to get an actual full-fledged western from him. How do you feel about last week, Batman and Robin? I thought it was amazing. I can't wait for more. Batman and Robin is my favorite comic out right now. I think Batman and Robin's amazing. I'm going to be friggin' meeting Philip K. Johnson at, Dallas Fan Expo. I'm going to that in May. So I'm excited. I saw he's going to be there. I'm like, yes, assuming something doesn't happen because there's still a couple months out. And people always pull out a convention. So it's like, please. So that'll be cool. But yeah, Gunslinger Spawn is good. I didn't realize my camera's not up when I'm on here. I need to fix that. Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty good. And then the Rockefellers, which is pretty good. It's if you haven't been reading it, it's from Pete Tomasi and Francis Manapool. Francis Manapool still's got it. He's amazing. And it's the weaker of the Ghost Machine books that I'm reading, but it's still good. It's a family from the future that then has to come back to the present and is working on a bunch of things, and they have this person hunting them, and you don't really know much about that person that's like traveling through time. And yeah, it's just family shenanigans every issue with like this person getting closer and closer to them every issue, and it's pretty good. I like it. But it's not anything amazing, but it looks good because it's Francis Manapool and it's fun to read, and issue 4 is no different. So I'm enjoying everything Ghost Machine that I'm reading right now, which is Redcoat, Geiger, Rockefellers, Rook when that's out, but Rook's not out, and Hyde Street are all worth reading. Excited for the Robin Batman sequel, Jason? Yeah, I'm excited for that. Anything Jeff Lemire, I'll get excited for. Best convention you ever been to? So I've been to Tampa Bay Comic Con, I've been to MegaCon, I've been to Washington Summer Con, and I've been to Emerald City Comic Con. And then some small like conventions here and there. But I think those are the only 4 big ones I've been to, I believe. I don't know. MegaCon was really cool. MegaCon might be my favorite that I've been to, but I don't know. Emerald City Comic Con is the one I go to every year. But this year I'll be going to Dallas Fan Expo, so that'll be cool. See how that is. Rockefellers was the only Ghost Machine book that I don't like at all. I understand that. Like I said, I think it's one of the weaker books. But I'm hoping once we get more into like the actual overarching story, it'll get better. Because right now it's kind of just like random stuff every issue. But I'm still enjoying it. I still think it's better than a lot of comics out right now. But yeah, okay. So Time Trapper. Time Trapper is interesting. I'm kind of just gonna wait to see how it finishes to give my full verdict on if I like Time Trapper or not. I think Time Trapper is an interesting idea, but we'll see. We'll see if Josh Williamson can stick the landing. That's kind of how I also feel about Superwoman. I think it's stupid that Lois is also called Superwoman because we have like 18 different Superwomen. But her having powers, I hope it's a limited time. It should be a limited time because apparently like her powers are already fading. And if it maintains to be a limited time, if he sticks the landing, I'm fine with it. Because right now it's good the way he's handling everything. But I don't want Lois to have powers for a long time. I think that's stupid. And I don't like the whole thing that happens a lot, where it's like every person within the hero's inner circle gets powers or becomes a hero or whatnot. Like the Arrow thing. I don't like that. Do you feel like the Tomasi Ghost Machine book is the weakest one because of the tone? You said before how it's more kid, I think, or the writing itself just pales in comparison. I think it's just because it's like, it's not as focused. It is a part of it could be because it is more like all ages. That might be it. But yeah, I think it's just because like it's not as focused. Because when it does get more into like that, the story that's going to connect everything, it's interesting. But the problem is that's in the background right now, and the foreground is just like all this like family stuff every issue, which is like, oh, it's all right, it's fun, but it's like every single issue, it's like, all right, let's get more of the actual story that's going on here. Thoughts on current Green Arrow? The pace is so slow. I may drop it next if it doesn't serious, but I'm liking current Green Arrow. I'm really enjoying it. I was a bit on the Mantos art. I wasn't sure because I like Mantos on Green Lantern, on the John Stewart Green Lantern book with Philip K. Johnson. But I was like, I don't know how he works for Green Arrow. But then I freaking like that fight scene happened with the freshwater killer, where the freshwater killer tried to kill that cop, and I was like, okay, I'm sold on the Montos I was like, he's actually he can do really good for Green Arrow. I'm not completely sold on this design for Green Arrow, though. I'll say that. Not the biggest fan of that, but I'm enjoying it. I like it. I like that Green Arrow's more street level now. I actually met Chris Condon at Emerald City Comic Con, who's writing Green Arrow and Ultimate Wolverine, and he also wrote the Enfield Gang Massacre, which is a really cool Western that came out like a couple years ago. And he was cool to talk to. I talked to him about Green Arrow, and I was like, I'm so happy that you got Ollie away from the Green Arrow family. And it's like it was way overcrowded, and I like him more by himself. And he's like, hey, listen, you said that, not me. And he's talking about how that's how he felt as well when he came out on the book, and he wanted to bring Green Arrow more to street level again, and how that was some of his favorite Green Arrow stuff. I also asked him if he's going to be, if he was looking forward to using anyone specific from like Green Arrow's Rogues Gallery, and he said he's going to be using a Green Arrow villain that hasn't been seen since 1959. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, I'm enjoying Green Arrow right now. I think it's pretty good. I think Chris Condon is one of the better writers out right now. I enjoy what he's doing with Ultimate Wolverine. I enjoy what he's doing with Green Arrow. Yeah, I framed the indie posters. They're hung up above my TV right now. I got frames for them. Hey, reading New Good. I've been loving every issue, to be honest. I haven't read New Gods because Ram V tends to have the pace of a snail. I hated his Detective Comics. I read it first, and then it was like, oh my goodness, this story's going nowhere. So I haven't read it. Well, I read the first issue, actually. The problem is that Hornsby and Halo is really good. I'm trade waiting for all of them, though, with only reading single issues. Loving all the other ones. That's first Red Arc was great. Hornsby and Halo is like the one book I haven't read. Hornsby and Halo, and I haven't read the one shot they did for Hyde Street, because the Hyde Street one shot was like from a completely different creative team that I didn't know who anyone was. And I was like, I don't really care about reading this. But Hornsby and Halo I didn't read because that really looked like a more kid-oriented book. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll pick up an issue. But I was like, it just didn't interest me at all. It's like I really like Tomasi, but looking at that, I was like, I don't care about this at all. Redcoat, I thought the first arc was good, but I've enjoyed the 3 issues after where it's just one shots. I think that's more what the book should be. I honestly prefer when it's just it's just one-off stories compared to like serialized. We're getting a whole story arc. I thought those 3 issues after were amazing. With like Johnny Appleseed and yeah, I really enjoyed that. But now we're into the new arc, or with the next issue we will. So yeah, Redcoat's really shot up for me because I thought Redcoat was I thought it was good, but it wasn't as good as Geiger or Rook. But then with these last couple issues, okay, it's just as good as those. It's really good. Favorite interaction with the comic creator? Oh, the first time I met Jimmy Palmiotti. Second time I met him was great too, but the first time I met him, I got him to sign some Jonah Hex comics. It was really cool talking to him. I got him to sign Jonah Hex No Way Back, and he's like, you mind if I do a drawing in here? I was like, yes, please. And he freaking drew Jonah Hex in there, and it was sick. So that was definitely my favorite. I've had the only really bad interaction I had with a comic creator was when I met oh man, what's the Tom King Dick writer? What's his name? Forgot his name. He's the Marvel Now Punisher artist. Why am I forgetting his name? Mitch Stratz. So when I met him, that was the only not good interaction I've had, because every other time I meet a comic person, they're always super nice and cool to meet. But this guy, I met him, I told him how much I loved his art on Marvel Now Punisher, and he's like, oh cool, and then he just started talking to someone else, just some lady there, and I was like, what? I was there getting something, and he was just talking to someone else the whole time. I was like, okay. This is in 2017, 2018, sometime around there at Emerald City Comic Con. And he was just so unpersonable. I was like, oh, okay. But everyone else, Chris Condon was awesome to meet this time. Josh Reynolds, the artist on Tales of Gunslinger Spawn, was really cool to meet. And he seemed really appreciative. I feel like not a whole lot of people were bringing his comics up to sign because he seemed really appreciative. I think a lot of people were more getting commissions and stuff from him. But I was a fan bringing comics that I liked his work for him to sign. So he seemed really into it, so that was really cool. But yeah, the those were the only two guys I met. Emerald City Comic Con has not been very good for getting talent that I care about recently. Like the last couple conventions, it's like there's like maybe one, max two people that I care about meeting. Like this year I met two people, and Chris Condon wasn't even on the site. Like I don't remember ever even seeing him. I was just walking around the convention, I'm like, freaking Chris Condon's there. Like, I freaking love what this guy's doing. So then I brought comics from the sign the next day. Yeah, so sad about it. But Dallas Fan Expo has several creators that I'm excited to meet, so that's cool. I'm excited about that. I have to pack them in the suitcase. As someone that doesn't like Green Arrow family, thoughts on Roy Harper and Connor Hawk? I like both of them. It's just when we get too many people involved in a Green Arrow book, like, I'm buying the title for the title character. Like, I like Black Canary, I like Roy Harper, I like Connor Hawk, but they have a time and place. Like, Black Canary shows up in phone calls currently on the on the Green Arrow book, and I like that. I was like, okay, cool. They still have their connection, and everything, but she doesn't need to be constantly in there. We don't need to make Green Arrow a side character or a guest appearance in his own book. Especially, we got like Red Canary, who's one of the stupidest characters ever. I don't even know why she exists. Ugh. Was that Emerald City Comic Con that you and Logan went to? If you're talking about meeting Chris Condon, yes. If you're talking about when I met Mitch Rods, this was years ago. This was before Logan was going with me. Yeah, they didn't have James Tynan on the website, which is weird because he was like the biggest creator there. Crazy. I don't know what the people at Emerald City Comic Con are doing. Is Tom Carey's Green Arrow book done yet? I have no idea. Probably not. It's probably... Is it like 12 issues? I feel like all of his books are 12 issues. So... it's probably not done yet. But who knows? I don't know why Tom King still gets to write comics, dude. I don't understand. I don't know. Oh yeah, also something that I'm freaking gonna do. I forgot. When I went back home to Florida... for like the first time in literally the first time in 8 years since I moved in 2017. My dad had kept some of my comics that I wasn't able to send out with me because when I moved from Florida, I packed as many comics as I could and I shipped some out also, but I didn't have a whole lot of money, so I wasn't able to send all of them. So some of them stayed at my dad's house, and he kept them, and so he shipped some of them. I still have more that he needs to ship over, and I just got some today, so we can unbox some of my old comics. So let's see what we got. These are not in the best shape. My dad didn't really keep them in the best shape, but, you know, at least they exist. This one is Death of Superman. This was part of the, like, deluxe Death of Superman, like, thing where it came with an action figure of Superman and Doomsday. Those action figures I had just, like, standing on the shelf, like, posing, and they fell apart. And also the spine of this became unglued. So, not the best quality, but, you know. I'd love to meet people like Dan Mora and Bruno Redondo. They seem cool to meet. Yeah, again, like everyone I've met, but Mitch Drads has been cool. I don't think I've had a single other negative interaction with a comic creator. Who do you want to meet next? Well, PKJ, is who I'm most looking forward to at Dallas Fan Expo. But I can also look at... Let's look at who's going to be at Dallas Fan Expo real quick. Let's see. We can look at what guests are going to be there. Guests. Comic creators. All right. So Scott Snyder's going to be there. I don't know if I'll meet him because he'll probably have a huge line, and I'm only going to be there for 2 days. But it'd be cool to meet him. Same with Greg Capullo. Would be cool to meet him. Probably going to have a big line. Probably same with Ryan Otley. Especially the problem with artists is a lot of them will be doing commissions, and so they'll just be drawing for like 5 hours straight. So it would be cool to meet these three. Have no idea if I'll be able to. Chris Condon, already met him. Might meet him again, though, because I have more comics for him to sign, so who knows. Oh, whoops. There's Chris Condon. There's the artist. Alessandro Cappuccino. I don't think it's pronounced Cappuccino, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. Tony Daniel's gonna be there. I didn't even know Tony Daniel's gonna be there. I met him once, actually. I met him. He did a meetup at like a comic shop in Orlando around when he was starting to write Deathstroke. So I met him once. So it'd be cool to meet him again. That was years ago. Yeah, they have him as cover artist because he doesn't really do interiors anymore. Probably makes way more now though doing that. Philip Kennedy Johnson, that's who I'm most stoked to meet. Don't care to meet Ram V. Charles Soule would be cool to meet. I know some people would be stoked about Timothy Zahn. I don't care. I think. Oh, Peter Tomasi. I definitely want to meet Tomasi. I think that's it. So yeah, several people to meet though. Who canceled? Pepe Larraz, Stephen Platt. All right. All right. Let's see. Catch up with that. It's like how Batman has 1,000 characters in his book. Yeah, that's the problem with like Batman, Superman, Green Arrow. A lot of comic book characters have this problem where they have big families now and they take over the book. It's like, if you want to do that, do a team-oriented book with them. Don't put them on like the main book because I'm there for the title character. And yeah. Tom King has hit more than he's missed, to be honest. I love everything I've read from him besides his Batman. Well, it's good for you, Noober, but I completely disagree with that. I think Tom King mostly has been ass. What do you think of episode 4 of Born Again? I loved when Matt was talking to that lawyer lady, negotiating getting the 10 days for that guy. And I love the bit before that where that guy's just an absolute dumbass. That was great. But then when the guy with the giant rap sheet that can't stop committing crimes is like, the system's holding me down. They would rather pay all this money to incarcerate me than feed me. It's like, well, stop committing crimes constantly. That part was really dumb. Especially Matt's like, yeah, that part was dumb. I liked the Matt and Frank interaction, even though it felt like going in circles, because it's like, we've been here before. But anytime those two are on screen together, it's great because they have good chemistry and they're both killing it as their respective parts. But it was still just like an episode. I don't like Vanessa, honestly. I used to really like Vanessa, but I don't like Vanessa in this show. Just so far the way they've written her, it's like, Vanessa's annoying. I don't want Vanessa around right now. This was probably the funniest episode yet, though. There were several moments that were pretty funny. The BB News stuff, like I said in my video, I understood it for episode 1. We got a view of the city and how Fisk could get elected in this environment. We don't need any more of it. Stop it. I don't care anymore. Hey, here's an Italian New York guy telling you what he thinks about New York. Yeah, here's what he thinks about Hell's Kitchen. I don't care. Don't care. That's valuable screen time. Give me something else. I don't care. But yeah, this episode was, again, like a lot of the others, it's okay. It's okay. There were moments I liked, and there were moments that I didn't, and it's really annoying that Daredevil Born Again, we're not getting Daredevil. We've gotten 10 seconds of Daredevil. You should go to remind him of your video. Yeah. It's funny that he deleted his comment on that video. I got the Brubaker Omnis. I got both of them. When they reprinted those, I was like, yep, thank you. If this went to your local con, would you ask him why Age of John Kent? No, I would not. When I go to conventions to talk to creators, I'm never trying to be combative. Like, they're taking time out of their day to go there, even though some of them, they're going to make money. But still, I'm not going to, even if there's a creator that does something that I really don't like, I'm not going to go and, like, harass them. Like, why'd you ruin this character I love? Jeff Johns, Jeff Loeb, Chris Claremont. I've met Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont was cool to meet. That was like maybe the first or second year I went to Emerald City Comic Con. Chris Claremont was cool. See that quote from the Spidey editor saying him being broken up with MJ is important as Matt Murdock being blind. Yeah, there's like 2 Spidey editors that over the years have constantly just been talking out of their ass about stuff, and they keep doing it. It's so stupid. Yeah, me and Jeremy Adams would be cool. Vanessa cheating on Kingpin sucks. Yeah, Kingpin getting cucked was really stupid. Like, why do we need that for? Who cares? The montages are super annoying. Yeah, that's what I mean with BB. I don't need the BB news segments. I don't mind BB as a character existing and, like, her, you know, causing problems for Fisk. I don't mind that. I don't like the news segments. We don't need all that. The Punisher and Daredevil Night is very wholesome. Have you ever met Jim Shooter? Nope. Thoughts on Nightwing being assaulted twice. Once. Which story are you talking about? You're gonna have to be more specific on that. Anyways, we can go back there. We got Star Wars Shattered Empire. This was the one about Poe Dameron's freaking parents. I remember it being decent. With some Marco Cicchetto or Marco Cacchetto art, which is pretty cool. We got a Walking Dead loot crate variant. We got a Wildcat. We got Wildcats right there. Oh yeah, freaking I met Jason, the best Power Ranger at Emerald City Comic Con. I met him on the last day. I met Jason, the original Red Ranger. So that was really cool. Also, he's much smaller than I expected. I can, let me pull up that picture. I gotta freaking pull up that picture so you guys can see when I met Jason. I was so happy to meet him. I got him to sign my freaking sword. I bought the freaking sword that he used in the show and got him to sign it. It was sick. Let me freaking... I gotta send this picture to myself and then pull it up on stream. We're very technologically advanced around here. Where is the picture? Boom. Send. But he was really cool to meet. That's like one of my childhood heroes. The original Red Ranger. Alright. Yeah. I got him to sign the sword. It was cool meeting him. I don't know if anyone else in here cares about Power Rangers other than Danny. And I don't think really anyone in here at all cares about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But that was my Power Rangers. So meeting the original Red Ranger was sick. And again, yeah, I got him to sign the sword. But then this also put in perspective how freaking short the Power Rangers are. Because he was never like short on the show. And I towered over him. So I was like, okay, all these Power Rangers are short as hell. I didn't realize how short the Power Rangers were. And then the Yellow Ranger that replaced Trini was there, but I didn't really care about her. So I just met him, so that was really cool. You've never been to one other than the Power Rangers convention, though? That's crazy. You gotta go to. Let's see, how tall is, let's see, Austin, let's see, John. Says he's 5'10". I'm 6'1", so I feel like, I guess that's accurate, because that's how I look next to Ian also, and he's 5'10", so. Yeah. Yeah, Marvel's resurrecting Gwen, yep. Did ever buy any of this old school comic reprints? Yeah, I have like a reprint of I have an older reprint of Wolverine's first appearance. I remember getting that when I was a kid and being like, oh, this is so cool. I want to meet Tommy. Rest in peace, Tommy. Heard about Disney Plus Power Rangers? Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Oh, dude, no. That wasn't a fan. That was every fan. So the original Pink Ranger was at Emerald City Comic Con a couple years ago, Kimberly. And she had a panel. So I went to the panel. And, like, every guy that went... Because they had, it's a panel. She talks about stuff. And then they have fans line up and ask questions. Every single guy, or 95% of them, that asked questions opened up with, like, you were my first ever crush, I loved you. And like some of them would be like, "My wife is here, but you were my first love, and I loved you so much, and you were my first crush." And it was like always so. It's like, dude, what are you? You're like 50 now, and she's like 50 something. Like, what are we doing? Why are you guys? What are? And you're like, your kids are here, your wife's here. What are you doing? Oh, and it was like every guy that went up constantly was like, "Oh my goodness, why are you doing this?" And yeah, that panel was those questions were very long. It was hard to sit through. Like, ooh. I most remember 2000 Power Rangers SPD, Down with Thunder and Light, Speed Rescue. Mine was Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin was mine. Then I watched some of the others. I don't have as much. What's up, Donovan? But man, freaking yeah. Yeah, freaking I'm looking at a picture of the Power Rangers now. Jason's taller than the others. And again, this is mean the Power Rangers are freaking short. He's even hunched over. That's freaking funny. Yeah, he's taller than the others. They're just the Power Rangers, just a short group. Thoughts on the first and new Power Rangers? The 2017 one? It honestly wasn't terrible, but it wasn't very good, and the suits were awful. There's some good Power Rangers comics, though. Kyle Higgins did some cool Power Rangers comics. Let's see. What else do I got in this box? This must have been a free comic, because there's no... Oh, it came from Comic Block. That's why. This came in one of those, like, Loot Crate type things. So, like, there's no way I bought this. Ooh, this I remember being cool. I got this freaking... This is a cool comic. I remember just Ghost just wrecks house in this. OG Modern Warfare 2 Ghost. How much did this cost? $4. Back in the day, this was $4. Gosh dang. Still expensive. But this was sick. Just a freaking random issue I found, like, going through long boxes at my old comic shop. Sick. These are the old... like on Sundays, like the funny comics, like the comic strips, like Garfield and Dennis the Menace and stuff would come on Sundays, and they also for a time would throw in like these tiny little Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, like Amazing Spider-Man issues. Like you see how like freaking thin these are, but they were free and they'd come with the paper, and I'd get those and read them, and so I had some of them at my old house. Issue of Iron Man. Mark Millar's Ultimate Avengers. This was I believe this is the issue where we get like the origin of Red Skull, where he's like Steve Rogers' son. Oh, Krispy Kreme. I forgot Krispy Kreme. Yeah, that was like a big pivotal plot point. The Gooner Ranger fan base. Yup. Have you read Justice League and Power Rangers crossover? No, I read the TMNT Power Rangers crossover, though, and that was really good. Some X-Men comic without the cover, because it got ripped off. Another X-Men cover with the comic without the cover, because it got ripped off. Another X-Men comic without the cover, because it got ripped off. We got a Wolverine Origins. We got a Wolverine cover with a comic without the cover because it got ripped off. We got one of the Wolverine covers that got ripped off. We got a Wolverine comic with a cover. Yeah. Got Wolverine and Punisher. He did a lot of the Power Rangers comics, yeah. Another Wolverine comic from when he went to hell from Jason Aaron's run. I think this is Larry Hama. I want to say this Wolverine one. Looks like it. Let's see, come on. Tell me the creative team. Yep, Larry Hama. Not in the greatest shape, but Larry Hama. Daredevil TNT crossover would be cool, considering Daredevil freaking inspired DMNT. More Wolverine. We got a new 52 Teen Titans, Scott Lobdell. Brett Booth. What are your thoughts on them bringing back Marvel Knights? I don't even understand why they're bringing back Marvel Knights, but whatever. Got some flat. Who wrote this? Adam Schlagman. Never heard of that guy, but Absolute Flashpoint. Or not Absolute. Flashpoint Green Lantern. What am I thinking? Also, have you guys seen the preview pages for Absolute Green Lantern? It looks like a fan webcomic. The art in that looks horrific. Oh my goodness. Let me find that. It looks terrible. I wasn't going to pick it up because it was Al Ewing, who I don't think is a very good writer. But my god, the art is terrible. Like, it looks like a fan comic. Like, looking at the pages, I was like, how are people paying for this? Come on, show me the preview. Not covers. Yeah, here we go. Now we got some preview pages. All right. Dude. Does this not look like a fan web comic? They're gonna, what is it? Absolute books are like $5, aren't they? How are people gonna pay $5 for this? What is this? And it's not like, oh man, at least I got a great writer that's gonna save it. It's Al Ewing. This book is straight out the gate terrible, and it's another Human Lantern. Who cares? What is going on? Anyways. Thoughts on Cyclops saying he'd drop Juggernaut like a meteor? I mean, not true, but it's a hard line. Has Aaron been writing anything DC related beyond the Batman Offworld comic? He's writing Batman Offworld's over, but right now he's only writing Absolute Superman, I believe. I think that's the only DC book he's writing. But he wrote a little bit of Action Comics. He wrote a couple issues of that. Then he wrote Batman Offworld, and then Absolute Superman. The 2-issue arc he did Action Comics was good. It was a little bizarro. I liked it. I had fun with it. The Batman Offworld was really good. I loved Batman Offworld. I thought it was great. With Doug Mankey, who always does amazing. And then Absolute Superman, in my opinion, has been ass. A lot of people love it, though. I think Absolute Superman's been bad. But I've only read the first 2 issues because it was so bad that I'm like, I'm not going to read anymore. But a lot of people love it. We're into the Green Lantern part of this box. Good amount of Green Lantern in here. Alright, let's see. We got some War of the Green Lantern stuff. You seen the Absolute Manhunter preview? Yeah, it's in the back of every single Absolute book. But it's from freaking, what's his name? The guy's doing Ultimates, so I really don't care about it. Denise Camp? Is that his name? I think so. I read the first 2 issues of Ultimates. The first issue was okay, and then the second issue was terrible. So I'm like, I'm not going to read Ultimates. But again, a lot of people love Ultimates. But I was like, I'm not going to waste my money on this. So, and he's writing Absolute Martian Manhunter, so I'm like, miss me on that. But again, I'm in the minority there. A lot of people love Ultimates, so maybe some of you guys will like it, but I didn't care for it. Again, I thought the first issue was okay. Second issue was so bad that it made me not want to read anymore. Freaking Cyborg Superman always looks sick. I love this era of Cyborg Superman. He looks so cool. We got before something's going to happen. Watch out, Hal. More Flashpoint Ab and Sur. These talked about Ewing and Ram V on a pod recently. Apparently Ewing and V never even talked to them during their Venom run. They only talked through editorial. That's insane. How are you going to do a run with an artist and never talk to them, only talk through editorial? I did not see that. Where was that at? What podcast was that on? It'd be interesting to listen to that. That feels really stupid. But that also, now that kind of makes sense on some stuff. Absolute Batman is really good, and I'd recommend it. Absolute Wonder Woman, I'm a couple issues behind, but I was enjoying it. I wouldn't say it's great or anything, but I was enjoying it. And the first issue, Absolute Flash, is good. But Absolute Superman, I'd say do not read. Emerald Dawn 2. More War of the Green Lanterns. More Emerald Dawn. I love this. You could say the Sinestro guy is looking pretty sinister right here. If you ask me. Tony Bettered. Oh, Tyler Kirkham did the art in this. New 52, Green Lantern, New Guardians #1. We have an Arrow book. I feel like this is a book that my comic shop was probably giving out, and that's why I grabbed it, because I definitely didn't buy this for normal price. I can guarantee that. We got some Batman now. Giant size anniversary issue. It was on Word Balloon? Okay. Wow. Batman 700. Batman 701. Rip R.I.P. the missing chapter. Batman 702. It's Word Balloon? Alright, cool. I've heard great things about the Ultimate Universe, specifically surrounding Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man to me is very much how Hickman is, which is comes out strong at the gate, it's really good, and then it slows down tremendously. And it's I need to catch up to see if it got better, because it was pretty good, and then it just like got really sluggish, and it wasn't like terrible or anything, but it just like got really slow, and it's just how Hickman does. I feel like Hickman's good if you keep him in a little box, but if you let him have like a long run, he kind of runs out of steam fast. That's how, at least that's how I am with most Hickman stuff. But I need to catch up on it. Also, again, Marco Cacchetto constantly like having a fill-in artist is really annoying, because the fill-in artist is not near as good as him. So, and again, you're still paying like, was it $4 or $5 every time, like $5 every time. So it's like, doesn't matter if it's Marco Cacchetto or if it's a fill-in artist, you're paying the $5. It's like, hey, give me a discount when the art's not as good. How about that? That'd be cool, because I know you're not paying that guy as much as Marco Cacchetto. So how about we have the price reflect that? Marvel, you cheapskates. Batman 710. This was when Tony Daniel took over writing and Dick Grayson was Batman. This was actually pretty cool. I remember this being pretty good. Two-Face returns. More Batman. More Batman. Freaking. We got Fabian Hinza on there. More Batman. Some during Batman Hush. Oh, some Red Hood Batman. Some Infinite Crisis. Some Infinite Crisis. Got some Action Comics, which is really cool cover. Got George Perez on this. I would love to see Cyborg Superman on the big screen. Dick Grayson's time as Batman was great. No, Hush 2 ain't out yet. It comes out at the end of... Does it come out the end of this month or next? I think it comes out like next week, actually. I think the 26th. I'm pretty sure it comes out next week. Yeah, Zachary Walker just confirmed. Yeah. So it comes out next week. Oh, we got some Reign of Doomsday. Steel. Trinity. Hey, we got some of the DC. We got the 3 parts of DC Marvel crossover. Whoa. Wonder how that'll be when those one-shots come out. Van Annual. You have a problem with slow burn books, or does it depend on the book? I'm not trying to show you what it looks like it from my POV. It depends on the book. Like, Warworld Saga was a slow burn. That went on forever, and I had no problem with that. It just depends on how it's done. Like, there are some books that there are some writers that can handle it, and there are some that just have no idea how to do a slow burn. And it's like for instance, Tom Taylor's, where it's like, hey, we're going to take freaking 40 issues or whatever to get to Nightwing finally taking out the villain that we introduced in like the 2nd issue. There are some comics, there are some writers that can do it, and there are some that aren't very good at it. And yeah, like again, Philip K. Johnson. Also, right now, we're 6 issues in to the current arc of Batman and Robin, and we're not at the end. We're still going. Like, something big just happened in issue 6. Generally, you'd be at the end, and I'm still hooked. I'm still happy with what's going on. I just feel like you have to have the talent to pull off a slow burn, to have something, instead of just like being monotonous and boring, which is what I feel like some writers do. Like Ram V's Detective was like that for me. I don't think it's coming. I don't think it's set right after. I think it's more in like the modern era, but also in like a specific point in time. So I think it's more in like, I haven't really checked it out, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure someone in chat can confirm. But I think it's like in the modern day, but like in a specific point in the modern day. So that way it can kind of dance around whatever else is going on in the DC universe. But it's not directly like timeline wise right after Hush 2. I don't think. We got a Superman issue without a cover. More Trinity. We have that cover to that Superman issue. Ooh, this is the one where Superman comes back, I believe. Yeah, this is the one where he comes back and he obliterates Cyborg Superman by vibrating his arm. Yeah, he turns him into freaking Cyborg Superman confetti. Yeah, look at that. That is sick. Punches a hole through him, vibrates his arm. Broosh. That's sick. That's when he comes back and I'm like, are you really Superman? Got some G.I. Joe, some Chuck Dixon G.I. Joe. Some old school Marvel G.I. Joe. Real American Hero. What's up, Otaku Tour Guide? Do you think the Lantern show is going to be good? No. Tom King constantly being involved in that show makes me think that it's never going to be good. It's, oh, dude. Why did James Gunn choose Tom King as his comic guy? Why? Out of all the people, he's like, Tom King is the comic guy. No. What are we doing? What are we doing? And also, they're going to immediately parallax Hal and get him out of the way so that way John can be the main Lantern. Because, you know, two kings can't exist. We got to get rid of them. And I don't like the fact of, like, Hal being the old one. We're getting rid of him. Sinestro being old. And I think that's stupid. And also, we're doing a grounded show. It's like, oh, cool. With Green Lanterns. Why? No one ever wants grounded Green Lanterns. That's not what they're meant to be. This is stupid. Dude, Tom King is good. Have you read Human Target? I haven't. I've heard a lot of terrible things about Human Target, though. I read a couple issues of his Wonder Woman, and it was some of the worst comics I've read in a while. It was terrible. Tom King's his Wonder Woman was awful. A lot of his Batman's pretty bad. I liked his Superman book he did. The Walmart Superman book he did was good. But that's like the last Tom King thing I read that I liked. Yeah. Anyways. More G.I. Joe. Some Devil's Due G.I. Joe. Devil's Due G.I. Joe is severely underrated. There's some really good G.I. Joe stuff from Devil's Due Publishing. Also, look how freaking sick Cobra Commander looks there. Fingerless gloves. I love the hooded Cobra Commander. That was the first Cobra Commander I ever saw, was the hooded Cobra Commander. So that's like really cool for me. Some Image G.I. Joe before, now he's back, now G.I. Joe's back at Image. It's funny seeing things come full circle. Some more Chuck Dixon G.I. Joe. More Image G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe Transformers from Marvel. Or freaking, I don't know who the hell that is getting blown up because I know nothing about Transformers, but that guy's just getting destroyed. Yo Joe, screw that guy. Assuming he's the Decepticon. I don't know who that guy is. Tom King knows continuity and is a good plotter. Agree to disagree, dude. I think Tom King... Heroes in Crisis is one of the worst comics I've ever read. Tom King is, again, some people really like him. Like, you know, I'm glad you like his books. I don't. I think he holds really great artists hostage and writes terrible dialogue and doesn't understand these characters and writes almost every character the exact same as some, like, depressed loser. But that's just me. Wait, is that Bumblebee? There's no way. Is that actually Bumblebee? There's no way, right? That's not Bumblebee. G.I. Joe Renegades cartoon. Was that the one on like their streaming service? Yeah, it was. I hated the art style for it. I did not like that show. I watched some of it. I didn't like it. Yeah, that was when like Hasbro had like their streaming service or something. It was like I remember being like online. It was not good. We got some Devil's Due G.I. Joe Transformers. Tales of G.I. Joe. More Image G.I. Joe. Front line. More Devil's Due G.I. Joe. Snake Eyes looking freaking badass. I like that IDW logo, the freaking light bulb with the eye on it. I like that. This one, I didn't realize freaking this one I got signed when I met Chuck Dixon at MegaCon. I got him to sign this. Thick cover, by the way. So I'm glad my dad kept that around. I'm glad, and I actually have this bag and boarded, so it's actually in good condition. That's cool. I actually have that. That's sick looking. That's a really cool cover. I got it signed by, and I drop it. But I got that signed by Chuck Dixon. A Wolverine milk ad. Got milk. X marks the spot. A G.I. Joe comic. I believe this is G.I. Joe. Looks like it. Yeah, it's G.I. Joe. A G.I. Joe comic without a cover? No, this isn't. This is freaking Nick Fury. That's Nick Fury, and this is the same artist who did some G.I. Joe stuff. What is this? Is this a Wolverine comic? There's no cover, so it's hard to tell. Nick Fury's in here. I don't freaking know. Is this a Nick Fury's Howling Commandos comic? Either way, some Marvel book that doesn't have a cover because it's lost. Some more Chuck Dixon G.I. Joe. Pumpkin gave recently about not feeling drawn like a return to write Wonder Woman when DC initially asked. Yeah, that's who you want writing Wonder Woman. It's so freaking stupid. Secret Warriors? Okay. I have no idea without the cover. G.I. Joe Sigma 6. Sigma 6, I didn't care for the art style on that either. But I remember that coming out when I was a kid. Some more. Chuck Dixon G.I. Joe. Devil's Due G.I. Joe. I wish they'd reprint the Devil's Due stuff. That'd be cool to have a nice big collection of the Devil's Due stuff. 12-issue event. Damn. A lot of G.I. Joe in here. Some more of the modern Larry Hama American Hero with IDW. We got a G.I. Joe without a cover. A trend, if you've noticed. Pretty sure I've bought this issue multiple times. Same with, I think, this one as well. Devil's Due. Oh, we've got the, this is the book that Ray Park wrote. It was actually decent. The art wasn't very good on it, but this is the one where Ray Park helped write, because, you know, he was playing Snake Eyes in the movies, and he helped write a little miniseries for him, which was cool. Yeah, if I can ever find part 1 of Annihilation. Glenn Danzig was going to be Wolverine. Oh. Co-star Nick Fury and Quake. Oh. I have no recollection of it at all. Right, to cap it off, we got more G.I. Joe. More G.I. Joe. And that's it. I have more comics, and I gotta send some money to my dad because it costs like $50 to send these out. And he sent these out, and he's like, I'm gonna need you to pay for the other box. I was like, all right. So, also something that, remember how before I was like, yeah, I'll do a Shattered Dimension stream if I can find Shattered Dimensions. I can never find it. When I went back to Florida, it was in my old room in my dad's house is where Shattered Dimensions was. So it turns out I'm not just an idiot that couldn't find it. It was in another state. So, yeah. Ugh. Thoughts on G.I. Joe live action movies? They're really bad. They're terrible. Both of them. It's tough. So yeah, and my dad sent it, so I have what's it called? I have Shattered Dimensions now. So probably do a playthrough of that one of these times. Maybe soon. Who knows? That could be fun. That could be fun to do. I gotta probably buy a new CD drive though, because I don't have an internal one on my PC, and I don't know what happened to my external one because I've moved a couple times since I had that forever ago. But that's not expensive or anything. I can get that for like $10. So get a external drive. I can play Shard of It's best Spidey game. 100% it is. Way better than the freaking Insomniac stuff. Yeah. Yeah, these last 2 weeks for comics have been pretty good. Have you been reading the Energon Universe stuff? Only G.I.Joe. I read like the first issue of Void Rivals, and it was good, but I was like, I don't really care enough to read any of this, and I don't care about Transformers, so I didn't read any Transformers. But I've read all of G.I. Joe, all 5 issues. It's been great. I love the Energon G.I. Joe stuff. It's really good. And who knew that Joshua Williamson was just made to write Duke? He's so good for Duke. Like, he understands that character. And I know they have plans for Snake Eyes because he is the most marketable, the most popular G.I. Joe character. And you'd be stupid not to have him, but they're definitely planning something with him. I'm interested to see whenever they actually reveal that. It's like, ooh, what are they going to do? What are you going to do for Snake Eyes? Because they obviously have plans. Like, is Joshua Williamson going to be the one who introduced him? Do you have a different writer? Are you going to do a solo book? Because he did solo minis for other characters that aren't as popular, and he's definitely the most popular. So it's like, Would you ever play Punisher game? If I had a copy of it, I would, but I don't have a copy of I never owned the Punisher game. Yeah, I've seen some clips of that. Freaking get Robert to get that, dude. We could play that. Robert would ever play with him ever again. Edge of Time was so disappointing. Shattered Dimensions was great, and then Edge of Time was just... I hate backtracking in games, and that's all Edge of Time was. It's like, hey, do you like backtracking? Here you go. I hope it is too. God, I hope it's not. Hope it's not Kelly Thompson like they did for Scarlet. That's been the only bad G.I. Joe book with Scarlet. Who do you think Sadie Sink is playing in MCU? I don't know. There's no way they're actually making her MJ, right? That'd be hilarious if they were. But there's no way they're doing that. I don't know who she's playing. Well, you don't gotta be familiar with G.I. Joe to read the current G.I. Joe. It's really good. I'd recommend checking it out. The main G.I. Joe book's really good. The minis we got beforehand, which were Duke and Cobra Commander, were also pretty good. But I'd say you could start with the, I believe they're both 5 issues. You could start with the Duke miniseries, because it kind of leads into G.I. Joe. Cobra Commander does too, but I feel like Duke's more, like, integrated. So you can start off with the Duke miniseries and then read into G.I. Joe. Or you can start with G.I. Joe #1. That works fine too. But the trades are out for both those also, so you can get a nice trade. You know, I wonder how much that is. If I went to Amazon right now, Duke, Energon. It's $14 on Amazon right now for the Duke, well, for the Duke miniseries. That's really good. That's a really good price. It's $14. You get 128 pages. It's Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley, and I'd highly recommend it. And it's the same price for Cobra Commander as well. Looks like all the G.I. Joe minis are $14 in trade. So yeah, 14 on Amazon. I don't know what the retail price is. If you went to Comic House, probably like $15-20. But yeah. Which was your favorite? That one I also have. That was Web of Shadows. Web of Shadows sucks. And also the crazy part about that is, like, walkthrough videos are kind of evergreen because, like, I'll post them and they'll get no views, and then 5 years later they'll be at like 30,000 or something. And it'll be like, where were all these people when I was posting this? Like, my first part of my Deadpool walkthrough got like no views when I first posted it. It's at 46,000 views now. It's like, man, where were you guys 9 years ago? But it's because, you know, people like will play the game and then they'll like look stuff up as they're playing the game throughout the years, and so that's why it accumulates. And like, I wonder, Web of Shadows probably doesn't have that much, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, it's only got 3,000, the first one. Oh, the last one has almost 7,000 though, which is surprising. But that game was so bad. Having to adjust the frame rate to get past the gas station like tutorial was so stupid. So I don't want to play this game ever again. What's up, Kaiser Soze? Or Jose? Kaiser Jose? Thoughts on Jeff Johns not writing Marvel and DC crossover like Doomsday Clock? I wish he was, but he's tied up. He's just doing everything with Ghost Machine. And Ghost Machine's been great. So I wish he was writing the Marvel DC crossover. He would be the guy to do it. He predicted it with Doomsday Clock. But man, whenever they announce that creative team, if it's like we got Denise Camp and Al Ewing, it's like, God, just please have some talented people on there. Please. The Deadpool movie last year also probably helped out. Yeah, could. I'm glad that Image is doing a deluxe edition that collects both Juke and Cobra Commander series. Oh, I didn't know they are. I'll probably pick that up. I have all the issues, but I'll probably pick that up. That'd be cool. I might pick up some of the Ghost Machine trades because I already have all of them in issues, but it'd be cool to have some trades or like hardcovers for them. I wish they do like the DC does with their Absolute editions, or like what was it? What's the Rick Remender book that I can't think of right now? That also did a gigantic Deadly Class. Deadly Class did like big sort of Absolute edition type. So if Ghost Machine did that, 100% buy that. Especially they could do that right now with what they have for Geiger because they have so much of Geiger out. Whereas Rook, they only have one arc out, so you're not gonna do like a thin freaking book of that. But they could do that for Geiger. And that'd be cool. I picked that up. So I hope we get some talented people. Check out the new Waters Nightwing book if I've only heard bad things about it. Yes, I did a whole video talking about how much I don't like it, and I talked about earlier in the stream about how much I don't like it. I can go over a little bit here. Nightwing's an incompetent dumbass that coddles criminals, and the villain is really stupid, and it's just not good. That's kind of the short of it. The art is great. Dexter Soy, one of the best in the industry right now, and he draws a great Bloodhaven and a really good Nightwing. But the writing is not it. And again, Dan Waters is a guy that's written some stuff I liked. His like Doomsday special he did was really good. His Destro mini was pretty good. Not anything great, but I liked it. And then this has just been bad. His Nightwing is terrible. The way he writes Nightwing is just, I don't understand. I don't understand this guy. Rockefellers and Hornsby, not feeling those books. So I haven't read Hornsby and Halo because it doesn't interest me at all. Rockefeller's been reading and I like it, but it's definitely the weakest of the Ghost Machine books because they need to take that background plot and put it to the forefront. We need that because that stuff's interesting. Every time we get some of that like psycho girl that's chasing them, it's like, ooh, this is interesting. But then it's so much like this family stuff every issue, and it's like, all right, come on. I don't need to see the grannies thirsting over grandpa every single issue. Let's get this moving. That's how I feel about Rockefellers, but I'm still enjoying it. So that Doomsday Special Waters did was my single issue of the year when it came. It was amazing. Freaking, if you guys haven't read it, you should read it. Martian Manhunter and Supergirl go to hell to keep Doomsday from escaping hell, and it's awesome. It rules. It's so good. Also, I believe Eddie Barrows did the art on it, so it looks really good too. I was hoping next run would be better, but it sounds like it has the same problems as the Taylor run. Shit, yeah. It has similar problems in terms of that Nightwing was a dumbass in Taylor's run, and he's a dumbass in this, but that's the only correlation. Other than that, it has different problems. Hyde Street's really good. This last issue was probably my favorite issue of Hyde Street. I'm really enjoying Hyde Street. It's like, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, because the initial like solicitations for it were like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about Hyde Street. This is like not really my type of book. I don't know. But reading it's like, oh man. And Ivan Reese is the man, so obviously it looks great. Do you have any Daredevil recommendations? Trying to get into the character by watching the show. Obviously, Frank Miller, Daredevil is where you should start. Frank Miller is the best Daredevil. Bendis did some really good... The thing about Daredevil is he's a character that like everyone kind of gives it their best when they're on there. So, like, Bendis did a really good Daredevil. I really enjoyed Brubaker's Daredevil. Frank Miller did the best one. And Nascent, I can't remember how to pronounce her name. She did it and did a good Daredevil also. Hers was kind of crazy. I like what she did. And Nascenti, I think is how you pronounce her last name. Um, you guys know this by now. I'm terrible with names. I only read a little bit of Mark Waid's Daredevil, and it was not my cup of tea. But also, Mark Waid's generally not my cup of tea. But yeah, I'd say Frank Miller, Bendis, and Brubaker are all three I'd suggest. But again, start with Frank Miller. Yeah, but again, also, like, again, he's a character that it's hard to not write good, it seems. And I've only read the first couple volumes of Charles Soule runs, but I enjoyed it. But I didn't read all of it, so can't really say. And Zdarsky's run was pretty good. Yeah, I haven't read the current. Ever since Zdarsky left, I haven't read Daredevil. But Zdarsky's run was pretty good. It kind of petered out at the end with all the hand stuff. It was kind of... But up until then, Zdarsky's run was pretty good. And it also had the problem of Marco Cacchetto is amazing, and then we get a fill-in artist. It's like, ooh. I haven't read any of Kevin Smith's Daredevil. But, yeah. Again, he's a character that most people write pretty good, but I haven't read the current run because, like Danny said, I heard it's not very good. And the creative team didn't interest me when Zdarsky left. I was like, oh, this new creative team doesn't make me want to read the book. Not at all. I haven't read any Denny O'Neil. I probably actually have read some Denny O'Neil back issues, to be honest. I have a bunch of random Daredevil back issues, and I've probably read some. How would you rank the big three absolute titles? Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. That's how I rank them. What do you think about Zdarsky's Batman run? It was freaking awful, what I read of it. I didn't read all of it because it was so bad. That big dumb robot was so stupid, and he hung around for too long, and then I didn't care what he did with Zarin R. Batman. Jorge Jimenez is amazing. Sucks that he was stuck on there with Zdarsky. Zdarsky was terrible at writing Batman. Every time I read the first, 5-6 issue or something, and then I was like, all right, this is bad. And then I'd check in every 5-6 issues or so and be like, is it better? Oh, it's still terrible. Is it better? Oh, it's still terrible. Why is Failsafe still here? We're freaking 20 issues in. And it's just bad. So I did not like Zdarsky's Batman. It was bad, which is surprising because he wrote a great Daredevil, so you think, he'd write a good Batman. Nope. Is the Born Again show taken from our Daredevil like Soule and Zdarsky? It's definitely taken from Soule. I don't know if it's taken from Zdarsky at all. It doesn't feel like it yet. I don't know if they have plans to. But it doesn't really feel like Zdarsky's Daredevil yet. But I also think they're going to be introducing some characters from Zdarsky's Daredevil, I believe. But so far, I haven't really gotten any Zdarsky's Daredevil vibes. But yeah, they're definitely taken from Souls. And of course, there's always the Frank Miller influence. You don't like Absolute Superman? Don't you like the M for middle management? That was pretty funny, but it's really stupid. And we spent so much time on Krypton in those first 2 issues. And then the stuff with Superman on Earth was really, also, there's hardly any Superman in those first 2 issues. It's, not really endearing me to the character at all, to this new Superman. Unlike Absolute Batman, where, I really like that Bruce, and I really like that Batman. I hope Zdarsky's Gap run is good. I really liked what he did with him Invaders. I said it, a while ago. I think I said it, on stream and on Twitter. I said, I would like to see him on Cap during that Invaders run he did years ago. And so when it was announced that he's writing Cap, I'm like, oh, he could do good. But again, coming off this horrible Batman, who knows? We shall see. But I really liked his voice for Cap and Invaders was really good. So hopefully he can keep that for this. Yeah. Or again, who knows what the quality of Zdarsky is going to be. You never know. I hope Matt Fraction's Batman's really good. I'm excited for that. I'm also tentatively excited because Matt Fraction can be a bit of a silly boy, which could be too much. You pick up Charles Soule new Daredevil mini? Yeah, with Steve McNiven. I'm excited for that. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. But Fraction as Batman has got me excited, though. Because I think he could do good. Haven't read Invaders, but I liked how he wrote Cap and Life Story. Read Invaders. It's I think it's 11 issues or something like that. But it's really good. I liked Invaders a lot. And what he did with Cap and that was really cool. He had a great voice for him. I'd highly recommend Zarski's Invaders. That was like during a time when I remember not too many good Marvel books were out, but Invaders was really fun. Favorite Matt Fraction comic? Do you like Matt Fraction's comic? Yes, I love it. The like third volume where Kate just house sits for some gay guys is a little like out of the blue and definitely weaker than the others, but I still enjoy Hawkeye overall. I still don't like that freaking the dog leaves with Kate though. I think that's really stupid, and like that part always irked me. I was like, there's no way that dog would leave Clint. It's so stupid. But other than that, I really liked this Hawkeye. I thought this Hawkeye was great, and I feel like it has influenced a lot of other inferior comics since then. I feel like Nightwing, Tom Taylor's Nightwing kind of tried to do a little bit of what Matt Fraction's Hawkeye did, but way worse. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved what Fraction did along with Brubaker on Iron Fist as well. A huge fan of the LA woman arc. Yeah, because everything that was going on in New York was really interesting, and I liked Kate in that art in that series. But when they just shipped her off to LA and she was sitting for those dudes, and it's like, what is going on? It's like, why are we doing this? Like, everything going on with Clint in New York is really interesting, and then they just shipped her off to LA, and it was like, what? Favorite arc of the Walking Dead comics? I've read like 3 Walking Dead comics. Don't have a favorite arc. I've seen sometimes, like in past years in Comic Con, I've seen like super cheap like compendiums for Walking Dead. It's been like, I was like, ooh, should I get it? And then I never do. So, are you reading the current Star Wars stuff? I couldn't get into Kylo Ren book by Soul. I haven't read the Jedi Knights comic by Guggenheim either. I haven't read either of those. I was tempted to read the Kylo Ren book because it's called like Vader something, and then I heard it's all about Kylo Ren and there's like no Vader basically. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna read it. So I'm not reading any Star Wars comics. You should read Silver Age Daredevil 7. He tries to fight Namor, and it's great. All right. I've been reading a bunch of Jonah Hex back issues lately, but if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I'm just posting stuff from back issues from Jonah Hex because I got a bunch of those from Emerald City Comic Con. Is the Bounty Hunters comic still going? No, it ended a while ago. I still need to read the end of it. Like I read like the first half of that run, and then I stopped. And I still got all the issues though, but I never read it because it definitely got tie-in to death is one thing, and then also it stopped focusing on my boy, Space Jonah Hex. It started focusing more on all these other characters. It's like, but that's not what I'm here for. Raid Republic, Tales of Jedi, and KOTOR Expanded Universe better than Disney. Everything's better than Disney. Dude, I am so worried about what they're going to do with Cal Kestis if they try to take him to Disney+. Please don't. We don't need... I love Cameron Monaghan. We don't need a live-action Cal Kestis. Don't do it. Keep him in the games. Don't let anyone outside of Respawn touch him. Seeing all this stuff about, oh, he's going to be in Disney+. Don't do it. You guys will ruin it. I'm excited for Andor, though. Andor looks cool. I posted that little clip on Twitter because I watched some of the live stream that they did with Tony Gilroy where he talked to some of the actors and, like, took fan questions. And it's like, oh, man. I love listening to freaking Tony Gilroy talk about this stuff. He seems like an actual talented person, unlike everyone else that works in Star Wars. I think it's next month, ain't it? I'm so happy I have the freaking Blu-ray too, because I just get to watch it without any stupid ads. Because every time I watch something Disney Plus, we got the freaking ad version of Disney Plus, and it's like, here's 18 ads with your 30-minute show. Ugh. But I have the Blu-ray, so it's like, I don't have to worry about stupid streamer stuff. I can just watch it on Blu-ray, which I thought was the 4K when I bought it, but I accidentally got the Blu-ray, so I was kind of sad. But either way, it's fine. Blu-ray still looks good. Did you think Kathleen Kennedy was actually leaving? I mean, I thought so. I think she's still kind of technically leaving, but she's like going to be in the background of things. I think she's technically still like leaving, but she's still going to like be in the background of stuff. I don't know. But I wasn't excited about her leaving because it's like, hey, we're replacing Hitler with Himmler. And it's like, shoot. That's like how it feels. Like, here's another terrible person we're replacing with. Like, that's how it feels because it's like, you know who's next in line. It's Filoni who's next in line. We're going to do like Filoni and Favreau. And it's like, there are also rumors about Feige, which is don't let Feige's the most incompetent person of all time. He got lucky with the Infinity Saga. He got lucky. Don't let him touch Star Wars. You need to finish. You haven't finished the first season? Danny, it's freaking, what is it, like 9 episodes? It's really good, bro. Oh, really? Been ahead of Star Wars? Yeah, that's why I tweeted. Do you plan to read Hex, where Jonah gets sent to the future in Mad Max section? I've read all of it. I own every single issue. I like that a lot. It's fun. It was funny. I was talking to when I was getting this lady had a booth there, and I was buying some Jonah Hex comics from her. She's like, oh, she's like, I went from reading. She's like, when I was a schoolgirl, I went from reading Archie to Jonah Hex, and I loved it. And then they sent him to the future. And I was like, what the hell is this? It was funny listening to this old lady talk about her time reading comics back in the day and how like she got pissed about them taking Jonah Hex out of the Old West and sending him to the future. But I liked it. Jonah Hex freaking futuristic Mad Max was sick. It's really cool. That being said, I do prefer the Old West stuff, but that was like a cool little change of pace. It was like 18, 20 issues or something like that. I like it. I own every issue of that. The Hex series was cool. And he couldn't believe he thought it was high. Do you like Jon Favreau? Favreau's done some good stuff, but I don't want him near Star Wars. Keep him away. Keep him away. Neither is Donovan, right? Well, Donovan doesn't have the attention span to watch TV shows. So you give Donovan an iPad and like a lollipop and you stick him in the corner. Donovan can't finish TV shows, dude. We all know this. It took him like 8 years to finish Daredevil. So that's how that goes. Adam, I don't know why Adam hasn't watched it, dude. Andor is really good. The middle management guy that eats cereal with his mom is stupid, and I don't care about anything that goes on with him. The first couple episodes of the bank arc are not the best, and I really don't care about those characters, but the end of the bank arc is really good, and like everything after that's really good. That's how I view Andor. Like it's really good overall, but there are some things where it's like, I could see where some people wouldn't like some things, because like all the characters involved in the bank like heist arc, I was like, I don't care about that. I don't care about those people. But then the end was really good. In a perfect world, I want George Lucas to be the head of Star Wars. We were in that perfect world, and he got bullied out of it, but he's never coming back, obviously. Also, freaking Revenge of the Sith is getting re-released for its anniversary, so that's cool for its 20th anniversary. That's going to be in 4D also, 4DX for Regal. So if you have a 4DX theater near you, you can see Revenge of the Sith in 4D. I'm definitely doing that. I wonder if they'll throw lava on me when it's Mustafar. Prison Arc is good, but I really don't care about the other characters. Like, the Prison Arc is interesting, and I love the ending of it, but those other characters, dude. Like, everyone else involved in it, it's like I could not care less about any of these people. Do you think Skeleton Crew is great? Thoughts on Elephant Kid? Skeleton Crew is not very good, but Jude Law carries, and he's amazing, and I really like his character. Everything Jude Law in Skeleton Crew, everything else, yeah. Elephant Kid was fine. I didn't care about any of those kids whatsoever. The white girl was incredibly annoying. Yeah, freaking come on, Danny. And Andor was my favorite character in Rogue One, so him getting a show, I was like, ooh. And yeah. Watch Andor. Andor's, especially before season 2 comes out. Andor's great. Not being able to finish thing makes me hate myself. You're like freaking. I always called Robert the professor, dude. The guy from Jimmy Neutron that couldn't finish anything. Professor something. Remember, like he couldn't finish a jelly donut. He couldn't finish. He couldn't finish anything. He did like he halved everything. I can't remember the name of that guy. That was Robert's name in Discord forever. Professor something. I can't remember his name. The villain from Jimmy Neutron that couldn't finish things. Yeah, Skeleton Crew was better than I thought it was gonna be, but still not good. Ooh, I'm excited for Ballerina. I'm gonna rewatch all the John Wick movies. I hope Ballerina's good. It looks good, but I have a feeling it's not gonna be good. Like I have this nagging feeling that it's not gonna be very good. But we shall see. This is like the first week in a while I'm not gonna see any movies. I've seen 16 movies this year. And my favorite was the Looney Tunes movie. The Looney Tunes movie was really good. And it's making no money, sadly. But it's really good. Freaking watch it before season 2 comes out. But yeah, Looney Tunes. That was cool. Also, it was cool seeing a 2D movie in theaters that looks that well, that looks that good. It's not freaking like DreamWorks CGI slash Pixar type CGI, and it's not Spider-Verse. It's just like classic Looney Tunes 2D. Looks great. Yes, that's what I was telling you about, Lazarus, dude. I put you on Lazarus. That's what I told you about. You didn't even know about it, dude. Yeah, I saw the clip, so I'm excited for it. Comes out like next month. But on the other hand, knowing Disney, they find some way to F it up. I was fine with the EU as being this whole thing that's not really that canon, but you can pick the good out and maybe make that canon. Because there's so much with the EU, and not all of it's good. It's way better than what Disney's done. But as far as the expanded universe goes for Star Wars, I'm cool with just like, it was there. If there's something good, we can grab it. But no, I told you about freaking Lazarus. I literally told you about Lazarus. That was not Robert, because I told you, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. I literally told you that. Freaking dude's in my chat lying. I'm not excited for Shrek at all. Shrek 3 and 4 were so bad that Shrek 5 doesn't have me excited. As good as Puss in Boots was, I'm not excited for Shrek. And there's no Puss, like, they did the cast list, and there's no Antonio Banderas, so what was the point of showing Puss in Boots going back there? What was that? I don't care about Shrek. That makes me sad. And DreamWorks going back to old franchises maybe doesn't have the best track record because, you know, they did Kung Fu Panda 4, which was terrible. So we'll see. That fake 2D CGI animation? Yeah, but Looney Tunes doesn't do that. Looney Tunes looks really good. Looney Tunes I was so happy with. The Ghost of Tsushima movie from Stahelski is never happening. Well, I think he's working on the Highlander reboot with Henry Cavill. I think that's the next thing he's doing. I'm so stoked for that, dude. Highlander, the original Highlander's awesome, and Henry Cavill doing one with Chad Stahelski. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for whenever that happens. Shrek 2, Shrek 1. I just watched Shrek 1. It's still pretty good, but I haven't seen Shrek 2 in so long, I can't say. But I probably would agree because Puss in Boots is so good in that movie. But I haven't seen Shrek 2 in so long, I can't honestly say which one I like better. But I did just rewatch Shrek 1. Mickey 7. A lot of people like Mickey 17. I thought it was ass. I thought the first act was good, and then it fell apart, and it just like went crazy. It's like I didn't go to this movie to see Mark Ruffalo do a Trump impression for 2 hours. Well, what was that? Thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows game? I haven't really cared about Assassin's Creed in a long time. I know there's a lot of Discord about it. I know like Japanese people are pissed about everything involved with that game. It's kind of funny seeing how mad Japanese people are about that game. I think it doesn't look very good, and I've thought that about like every Assassin's Creed game for a while. So yeah, I don't really care. It's kind of annoying because Japan was the one where it's like, ooh, this is where Assassin's Creed belongs. This could be cool, and then they do it, and they Ubisoft it. Avengers vs. Mightiest Heroes is really good, dude. I was watching that. I was a kid when that came out watching that, and it's really good. Is Mark Ruffalo crazy? I don't know. But he literally just does a Trump impression for 2 hours in the movie, and it was very strange. I still have AC Origins installed, and I have still never hit play. Haven't installed, though. I've never hit play on that game. It still gets updates, too. I'll still see on Steam. It'll be like, Assassin's Origins updated. Cosplay. That's Logan essentially doing a furry cosplay. That's another thing at conventions that throws me off. At Emerald City Comic Con that throws me off. There will be, like, dads with their kids. They're, like, 12-year-old kids that are in, like, furry get up. They'll have like furry ears and like a tail, and it's like, is it just like parents not knowing, just think, the kid's just dressing up like an animal, it's cute? Or do they like fully know about the furry stuff and they're supporting it? It's like, what are you doing? It's one thing if an adult wants to be a weird degenerate dressed up as a furry, but like kids with their parents, I see that every time there's a Comic-Con. It's like, what? This is so weird. Anyways, thoughts on Jonah Hex movie with Josh Brolin? I never saw it. The trailer was so bad that I never wanted to see it. It was nothing like Jonah Hex. They gave him supernatural powers. Megan Fox was in it. She looked really hot, but that's beside the point. I just don't really even know. I've gotten several Assassin's Creed that I've never played. Like, I got Syndicate and Unity for free. Both of those for free. Unity, when Notre Dame burned down, they gave it away for free. And then Syndicate, because my sister's friend got a graphics card, and that came for free. So I got that code. Haven't played either of them. I don't think I've played an Assassin's Creed since Black Flag. I have multiple since then. Haven't actually played them, though. Thoughts on live action How to Train Your Dragon? Pointless, like all these live action adaptations. I don't get it. I don't care. It's got freaking Finny from Black Phone, though. So it's cool to see him get another role. Thoughts on Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon? Which one was that? Was that the OG 90s one? If so, that was like the first Spider-Man cartoon that I grew up on. And I liked it. Ooh, what happened with the Mayo guy for X-Men 97? Wasn't that the guy like sending nudes and then he said, if you want to get the full story, subscribe to my OnlyFans? That guy is hilarious. But also not a good dude. I didn't read up on all. I just saw some headlines and it was kind of hilarious from the outside looking in. But also probably not hilarious if you're one of the people getting harassed, getting sent nudes from that psychopath. What's up, Soundwave? Yeah, I freaking saw Fat Greedo at Emerald City Comic Con. That was sick. I got my picture taken with Fat Greedo. Oh yeah, it's freaking. Oh, I was going through my old comics from my dad's house in Florida because he sent me some that he had, and there was like a freaking Transformer getting blown up. I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know if it was like a freaking Decepticon or what. Let's see, where's the cover? I got it somewhere around here. We were like Soundwave, and no. Someone was getting just messed up. Ah, here it is. Who's just getting absolutely just ass blasted by the Joes right here? Just getting Joed into another dimension. It's destroyed. Number 1, a 4-issue limited series. G.I.Joe Transformers. Fave Geigerverse book? I'd say Geiger is my favorite of those. But Rook is really good, and then Redcoat's been really good lately as well. That's Bumblebee. Oh, someone was right. Someone said earlier it's Bumblebee, but I thought they were trolling. It's like, there's no way that's Bumblebee getting absolutely destroyed. Oh, it is. Yeah, I know who Optimus Prime and Megatron are. I know the basics. I've seen the Bay movies. I remember almost nothing. But, yeah, Bumblebee just getting absolutely destroyed by the Joes, dude. Doesn't stand a chance. Yes, I've seen the trailer for How to Train Your Dragon. It's played before a bunch of movies I've seen. And I don't care. I never really cared for the How to Train Your Dragon animated movies, though, so that's the best Bumblebee design. It's not a very, like, it doesn't really stick out that much. Where did I put it? It's in this stack. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what the interiors on this look like. Blood on the track. We got a laser tag ad in here. I love all the hostess ads in like old comic books where it'll be like Wonder Woman saving someone and then eating a Twinkie. Those are hilarious. Oh, we got the blood knots on here. Oh, there's Bumblebee. Bumblebee's getting a parking ticket, dude. Bruh. Bumblebee. About to get blowed up. Or get the parking thing. Oh, Bumblebee's trying to say you don't understand. Oh, and then he gets absolutely wrecked. Oh my goodness. B, no. Fire. Shripped. He got shripped. There's his head. There's Bumblebee's head right there. Oof. He says, I have failed. I'd say so, dude. You just got blowed up. Let's see. Bumblebee was stuttering before he got shot. He was talking to him, he's like, but you don't understand. And they blasted him. Robert doesn't care, dude. Gosh dang, he got destroyed. I like how it's not just the tanks, but also they're shooting him with small arms fire too. Like they got like M16s and stuff. Just rip Bumblebee. All right, but yeah, almost 2 hours. I'm gonna try to maybe every like Thursday do a stream. I think that's feasible. Talk about like the comics that came out that week and whatever, and maybe we'll do a Shattered Dimensions or some other game playthrough. Start playing some games also. That could be fun. I want to start streaming more, like once a week. That could be fun. But OG G.I.Joe proceed to get ignored almost universally by the rest of that continuity. Well, I'd say so with Bumblebee getting blown up. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Thank you so much to everyone for showing up to stream. This was fun. It was a good time talking comics with you guys. And I'll hopefully should see you guys next week for whatever comics come out next week or other comics, because next week might be a week because we had 2 really strong weeks back to back. If I ever get Insomniac Spider-Man 2, I'll stream it. I don't have it yet because it's been like retail price, full price. I'm not paying full price for that game. I didn't really care for the first one. I'm not paying like $60 for this game. So if it goes on sale, I'll probably get it eventually. Anyways, thank you everyone for showing up. I will see you guys later. Everyone have a good night. Goodbye.